Hey everyone, welcome to this exciting episode. Today we're going to tell a story about fate and choices. Are you ready? Pro Liangsi brings even more bad news. Old photos of Xuesui being taken to the Langwei building by her dad have surfaced. Photographer Juki is truly unscrupulous. Though unaware of that day's events, she often blackmails Liangsi with the photo and, oddly, was the first boy to find the body. The officer's years-long investigation made Liangsi consider murder. What a betrayal. After seeing Xuesui, Liangsi proposed killing Xuesui then himself, as if to repay the debt to Xuesui. Xuesui remained surprisingly calm. If they wanted to return to a sunny life, they needed to wait out the 15-year statute of limitations like it was an endurance race. So in pursuit of a bright future, they devised a two birds, one stone plan. Xuesui wrote a love letter and stuffed it in the super anxious Fujimura's locker. Liangsi nabbed Juicy's hat and humbly offered a rare movie ticket. Looks like he's baiting Juicy for something. Fujimura was thrilled to be asked out by a guy. Little did she know she was walking right into their trap. That night, Liangsi ambushed Fujimura at her date spot and abducted her, fulfilling his father's disgraceful feat. Just so you know, it's a total mess in the warehouse behind the boxes is tied up Fujimura. Not her fault, right? Juicy's hat pops up right at the door. It looks like solid evidence, but makes total sense somehow. Juicy was too busy enjoying a movie to realize she was now second on the suspects list. Watching a movie alone isn't a solid alibi, so Juicy turns to Liangsi to bail her out. What a mess. She had to hand over Liangsi's dad's photos and negatives, so Fujimura chose to drop the case. What a pricey bargain. Those photos became a lasting scar in her heart, and Fujimura wasn't in the mood to dig into Xuesui's past either. Their plan seemed perfectly crafted, yet Liangsi couldn't muster a smile. She couldn't help but recall her dad's misdeeds. Doing something she detested about him turned her thoughts dark. Yet as the morning light crept in, Xuesui's words echoed in her mind, refusing to fade away. Liangjian is my son. Without you, I have no one else. 7 years ago, it was a boy chasing a girl. Now it's Xuesui desperately searching for Liangsi. Eventually, the clue led her back to the library, where a card with November 2006 stuck in a book felt like a treasure map. They had to tread carefully. Even if the plan fooled all, the old detective's instincts revealed the truth. One day, Liangsi's classmate Yaoin got in trouble, dating a married man. High risk, high reward. During a hotel mishap, the woman suddenly dropped dead of a heart attack. Liangsi didn't think it would lead to any trouble, but she knew the investigation could point right at her. Staring at the lifeless body on the bed, she felt utterly helpless, unable to push on. Once Xuesui found out, she realized how sticky the situation was because the deceased's husband suspected Yuyin had the thing with his wife. If the police found the body, Yuyin would be the prime suspect, and the scapegoat saga was about to begin. At that moment, Xuesui spotted a small umbrella packaging on the ground and suddenly asked Liangsi if Yuyin had a different blood type. The suggestion sent chills down Liangsi's spine. If she had relations with the body, the DNA wouldn't link back to Yuyin. Genius by the bit insane. However, pulling this off would be outright madness. Liangsi began questioning Xuesui, who just looked at her helplessly. Xuesui pulled Liangsi to her childhood church. Some spots hold many memories. Filled with rage, Xuesui smashed things in the church, the pain of losing her parents as a child fueling her action. Once an orphan, she endured endless bullying, feeling that only through this fury could she find a sliver of relief from the pain inside. After learning of her traumatic past, Liangsi resolved to throw away any remnants of humanity, getting rid of that dead woman's body. She could only become a ghost, lurking in the shadows to protect Xuesui, yet couldn't help but wish to see her mother one last time. The mother, sensing trouble, peeked at her son's stuff during his bath. To her shock, she found the death certificate for Liangsi. Having cheated years ago, she had contributed nothing to the family, and she felt intense guilt as a mother. Yet upon realizing this was her last conversation with her son, she couldn't hold back her tears. 7 years later at the station, roles reversed. It felt like they were caught in a time loop with no sense of what year it was. Xuesui had entered college, while Liangsi remained in the shadows forever. It was heartbreaking to witness such a disparity. Hard-earned, illicit money Liangsi got was for Xuesui's comfort, but she found a senior at college instead. Despite life's ups and downs, Xuesui stayed a beauty-loving girl. Her bond with Liangsi turned familial. She realized with tears in her eyes that this wasn't love. It was time to date the guy she liked. To her shock, her crush was dating her best friend. She could hardly believe it. She forced a smile and cheered them on, but ended up the third wheel of the struggle was real. How could such a handsome, wealthy guy be into her silly friend? The inner turmoil became unbearable. Turns out days earlier, her friend lent her umbrella to a pregnant woman, and the crush drove her home. Xuesui's heart felt like it was in shambles. Her friend's pure heart charmed her crush, while dark seeds began to sprout within Xuesui. She wasn't jealous of her friend having a man, it was the bitterness of never having a happy childhood that stung. She thought of Liangsi, the cleaner, secretly wishing her friend would endure the same pain as Fujimura. Liangsi sensed it too, and hey, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for